that in interviews, often you're asked questions that would be normally asked of popes and leaders of state.
That just goes to show you how stupid the people are that talk to me. That some schmuck would ask me these questions.
But you always come up with answers.
Well, that doesn't mean they're any good. See, if I can think of something to say, I'll say it, so long as I can live with the results. But if something is totally baffling to me, I'll just say I don't know. But I have a large storage of general information that I can tweeze around and answer various stupid questions with. I mean, let's face it, the interview is a somewhat unnatural situation, and you might as well make something amusing out of it if you can.
You seem fairly well read.
I'm not.
You're not?
No.
You didn't do that in high school? You didn't go, park a car and crack open a six-pack on the hill and get drunk with your buddies?
No, because I didn't drive when I was in high school.
You didn't?
No. In fact, I didn't drive a car until I was about 22 or 23 years old, when I took over the payments on Uncle Joe's 63 Chevy Bel Air station wagon. And then I moved to New York, and my license expired. And when I came back to California, I refused to stand in line at the Department of Motor Vehicles ever again, and never renewed my license.
You don't have a license now?
Nope.
So how do you get from place to place?
I mooch rides. Either Gail drives me or I mooch rides with other people.
God.
The only time that I ever go anywhere is if I have to. The rest of the time, I'm perfectly happy to stay home.
What surprises me, though, is like the environment that you grew up in San Diego, listening to rhythm and blues. I would picture you in not being interested in sports, but either playing in your garage band or working on your car or coating it with primer.
I used to really love these cars they had down there. San Diego had some cars in those days. I mean, the 40 Fords, tomato soup red, really nice. 39 Chevys lowered all the way to the ground, painted icebox white primer. Ernie Ponce had this we'll call it a car, and it was so low you couldn't see tires on the bottom of it. We were theorizing that he had inserted these Vaseline pumps at the four corners of the car and operated like a snail to just ooze himself down the road. He had taken his entire dashboard and leaded the whole thing in. He took all of the instruments out of the dashboard and painted speedometers and stuff back on, set at the speed that he liked the best. He took out the seat and had a peach crate. It was sitting on the floor so he could be really low. The window came to about here, and all you could see was this jelly roll hairdo that came out like that and blue shades, all right? Then he cut his steering wheel in half so it looked like an airplane. He had the really nicest car. I mean, Ernie Ponce had it.
It sounds like it. Go ahead.
I mean, if I could have a car like that, I'd probably drive again.
Did you have a jelly roll hairdo back then too?
No, I could never get my hair to stay up like that because it was always too greasy. It would curl up a little bit and just hang around the side of my head. But these guys that really got the big jelly roll, they had to stiffen it with so much pomade. You have to comb it up and then tuck it like that and roll it down like that. Their heads must have weighed an extra 5 pounds from that stuff,
Dixie Peach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dixie Peach.
What was the little clique like that you hung around with? Were they those types? Were they musicians? Or were they what?
I didn't have anybody to hang around with except this guy, Elwood Jr. Medeo, who was the guitar player of the band that I was in. I was playing drums in this band called the Ramblers.
The Ramblers?
Yeah. And
named after the car?
No, named after the idea that if you played these rambling shuffle-type blues numbers, you could just ramble away. Wasn't that clever?
Rambling kind of guy.
Yeah, rambling kind of a guy. And Elwood Jr. Medeo was real serious about playing the guitar. I mean, he really wanted to be a good guitar player, and he eventually stopped playing rhythm and blues and started playing flamenco and moved to San Francisco and got totally serious. But you probably run into him up there somewhere.
I'll try. Were you very popular, or were you looked upon as sort of the class weirdo, or what?
Probably in the class weirdo category, yeah.
For what reason?
Well, I didn't like sports, and I wasn't too fond of beer, and I didn't drive. These three factors can leave you on the outside of just about everything in high school.
No kidding. God. Were you already...
Hey, that guy doesn't like beer. Where is he at?
Well, we'll find out this Wednesday night. Frank Zappa, the music of you hearing now, will be in the Concert Bowl. And next week on Nite Dreams, we'll continue the interview of Frank Zappa, talking more about the movie Baby Snakes. Excuse me, I must take these off. I can't handle that anymore. Welcome to Freebie Time, Nite Dreamers. And let's see... I was going to say, let's see who's coming to town. Suzanne and I are going to see who is going to win some goodies. Now,
That's right.
Suzanne is going to draw
Okay, just a minute.
some letters. She has to get the old tasty fish bowl, and we got some nice goodies. The first prize we have here
Is Frank Zappa kit. I believe we've got the Chic Your Booty album and Joe's Garage Act 1 and Acts 2 and 3. And that's going to be first prize
So
to
here,
this winner.
This winner will win these 3 albums, and we're going to be announcing the names of the winners at the end of the show. So you stand by and find out if you're a winner. The second winner tonight
The
on
second winner
the
is
show is going to win
Boomtown Rats album and a couple of guest
Tickets.
passes to Pearl Harbor and the Explosion.
and that's March 29th at the Commodore. So our second winner, that's your prize there. We'll be announcing your name at the end of the show. And our third winner, which
Third winner
Suzanne has
wins
just drawn,
a Boomtown Rats album and also a couple tickets to the Savoy.
to see Brandon Wolf tomorrow night live.
And that's
So we'll be
it.
announcing your names at the end of the show, so don't miss that. Now, Suzanne, who's a busy girl out at CITR, oh, I thought I saw the survey here. You don't. We
No.
don't have a new survey, do we? But what's number 1 on your survey now? Was the Jam was last week, I
Last
think.
week, The Jam was the #1 album, and this week we've got The Clash #1, The Jam's #2, Gary Newman's #3, #4 is the Madness album, One Step Beyond, 5 is the Pretenders' latest album,
Goodness gracious.
and #6 is Marianne Faithfull's
These
Broken
are
English outfit.
these are all albums that you can hear on CITR UBC radio, so I hope you
Yeah.
can pick that up. You have to have a Cablevision connected to your radio for that.
Yeah, and it's on 88.9 cable FM. Also, another thing that I'd like to mention that CITR is doing, and this sort of is the same thing as that Gary Taylor is doing down in his rock room. And what it is that we've been collectively taking bands that have got university students in them, and we're doing a talent show down at the university pub at the Pit, and the very finals for that talent show are on March 31st, which is a Monday from tomorrow. And John's going to be one of the judges, and along with him is going to be Norman Perry, Don Schaefer, Tom Harrison, and Sonny Lewis from CFUN. So if you are a student at UBC, thank you. If you are a student at UBC, please take some time out from your studies and go down to the Pit, because first prize for the band is 15 hours of recording time at Little Mountain Sound.
Sounds
and
good.
that's really something.
Okay, and that takes place a week tomorrow, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Now, whether you've got a light on your bike tonight, I guess I can't do much about it. You should at least have a little flashlight. Speaking of UBC, right now we'd like to bring you something that you may enjoy. I'm sure you will. This was recorded at Songfest 80 on March 7th at the Queen Elizabeth Theatre. So let's enjoy right now the Alpha Delta Phi Fraternity.
I'm not worried about it. It never happened like that before. I mean, every time I don't know what happened. I mean,
things like that happen.
you paid me, you know, you paid me really well. I appreciate
You can
it.
keep the money. Don't worry about it.
I didn't satisfy you. It's never happened to me before like that.
It's okay.
You know,
it's okay.
I don't know what
darling.
happened
it's
about
okay.
it.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. It's just like, I mean, you know, all of a sudden it's not happening. You know, it's just sort of like.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry about it.
It's okay.
I'm really
you can
sorry
keep the
about
money.
it. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I gotta get to work. I'm sorry. How about, you know, tomorrow night? I promise you it'll be better tomorrow night. You know, I don't. I'm really sorry. I didn't. You know, I understand.
Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about it. It just never happened before. Like every time that this is the first time that it's. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'll see you later. I'm sorry. Really sorry about this.
It's okay.